Right now, let's turn to some local news with Angela Poe-Russell, who's in for G today on the G and Ursula Show. Good morning, Angela.
Good morning. Had to hit my microphone button there. Good morning. I am so delighted to be with you. Congratulations on this new assignment.
Thank you so much. And I've always been such a big fan of yours, so it's very cool to be working with you and be a colleague.
Thank you. Well, hopefully I don't ruin it today.
Okay, you're not going to, because this is an interesting story, right? Because there's a new law regulating, I'm wanting to say this right, when app-based delivery companies can deactivate drivers in Seattle, and it would restrict companies like Uber from firing delivery drivers and couriers from the platforms without a bunch of notice and notifications. Give me an idea of your thought process behind this.
Oh, normally, Charlie, I come in with the hot take. Yeah. I have strong opinions. I am struggling with this one, and I'll tee it up why I'm struggling.
Nuance is okay.
Yeah, right. It is okay. It's okay. It's a safe place on this show. There's this balance here between the free market and worker rights. And how do you say, we want, obviously, when it comes to gig workers, this is a newer kind of a phenomenon, if you will, because in the past we have the traditional workers, you work 9 to 5. So more people doing gig workers. A lot of times laws have not kept up with technology. So we understand, yes, we have to do that. At the same time, when do you get to come in and tell a business, well, you can't use your algorithms to fire people. You have to give them human interaction. That is one of the things in this particular law. You have to give a human review of all deactivations. Do we get to tell a company that? According to where the law stands right now, and the judge allowed it to be, you also have to give 14-day notice of deactivation. That's another piece of this. And the other thing I think is interesting is that you have to provide workers with records behind the decision. So if I give a bad review, let's say of a certain driver, I'm like, are they going to then have access to what I had to say? I mean, that's what I'm balancing here. I want people to have a fair process and not just be randomly deactivated and losing their source of income. I also just am trying to think, are we going too far?
And I wonder about this because on one hand, you see on Reddit all the time where you have a delivery driver who does something stupid. He steals the food or whatever, and those people get terminated right away. But I was just out yesterday. This is a story I'm working on, and I was actually meeting with this homeless family. They just moved here from out of state. They're getting back on their feet, and the mom, the only job she could get is DoorDash.
DoorDash, right?
And so she was able to get a job right away. Now they're saving up money to make a deposit on an apartment. And if that were to be taken away arbitrarily, that would be devastating.
Absolutely. And I think we all know the frustration if you're trying to resolve an issue and you can't talk to a human. Yeah. So if you can imagine being deactivated, all of a sudden your source of income is just shut down. You don't know why. You're trying to get a hold of a person. So, but that's what I'm wondering. I mean, Charlie, as you see it, how do you feel about the idea of us mandating that they have to be able to talk to a human? I mean, I never thought we'd have to make that kind of mandate, but should we?
I don't want Hal to be my HR. Right. I don't know. So that's a hard one.
It's a hard one. That's why I'm struggling with this. I don't know. When this first came up, I want to say we were one of the only cities in the country to propose something like this. I think since then there have been a few others. So we're kind of leading the way and figuring it out.
Yeah.
One interesting piece of this is that Uber and I think Instagram joined the lawsuit. They're arguing that there's a First Amendment component to this with a judge saying, we don't buy that. But I think that's so interesting. They're claiming this violates the Constitution. Yeah. So could this go all the way to, the Supreme Court eventually?
Well, Angela, this is an interesting topic.
I know, to be continued.
To be continued. And just remember, nuance, safe space here on Seattle's Morning News.
All right, well, I'm in then. It's a pleasure being with you.